But finally, Kofi, he gives Owens his championship match at Money in the Bank. He says, all you had to do is ask me. You didn't have to do what you did. Owens comes out and accepts. It wasn't until the end of the show that we got to see Kofi get serious and go after Kevin Owens with great anger and furious vengeance. He went after him like a man who had just betrayed him a week earlier. That's the Kofi Kingston on this episode that we needed to see. I'm not saying he has to be angry every single week, because that goes against what his character is all about. But if somebody fucked me over, I'd be pretty pissed off about it when I come out the very next week. And at the very end, at least, we got that. Now, Kofi gave an interview to TalkSport.com. And he in part wanted to address the criticism, or they asked him anyway, about the criticism that he has gotten lately from people like Billy Graham, who, I know I said that I wasn't going to even mention him again, but since his name came up, since I just mentioned it, this is the same Billy Graham who last week, in a new blog, suggested that Big E might be a racist. He was a racist towards Billy because he snubbed the superstar when Triple H invited Graham to a SmackDown taping some time ago, I don't know when this was, to cut promos backstage for the WWE Network. And Big E, in his mind, Big E snubbed him, and he wonders if that was because he's a racist. For Billy Graham to go after one of the New Day members as being racist, now that's rich. That's fucking rich. But anyway, Kofi was addressing his comments, and he was addressing comments made by Jim Ross, who on his podcast said that Kofi needs to show a more serious side, and that hopping around carefree and smiling does not fit with being a champion when you are a marked man. It may be fun for the children, but not for the older fans. And he said whoever is producing Kofi behind the scenes needs to help him with that. Well, here's Kofi's take on all of these legends trying to give him advice. He says, the New Day has been the New Day because of what we've done. We can be entertaining, but then we can be serious too. I think it's awesome that after all these years, guys like JR and superstar Billy Graham can still be fans. Superstar Billy Graham is almost like super fan Billy Graham right now. Everyone has the right to have their opinion. They are not talking to me. They are talking about me, as they should, because I'm the champ. So I welcome all criticism and opinions. I think it's great. For me personally, I'm going to continue to do what I have been doing in the ring. I didn't need their help or advice getting to this point, and I certainly don't need it now to tell me how I should be the champion. He's right. He is the champion. He got to be the champion by being who he is, not who other people wanted him to be. It would be like when Dean Ambrose went on the Stone Cold podcast and Austin just embarrassed him on live TV by criticizing the kind of champion that he was being on TV. It was completely out of line, I thought, for Austin to put him on the spot like that. I still feel that way. And not to, if he felt that way, pull him aside, before the show or after the show and tell him. And I can absolutely understand why Ambrose would have been upset about that. Kofi is the champion. He does not need advice from superstar Billy Graham to get there because he's already there. But I do think it's a good thing to not be too one-dimensional. We got to see angry Kofi by the end of the show, which was good. I do think that you want to avoid being too one-dimensional as a character. So what I'm saying is not that Kofi should just, to what JR said, he just should change to where he's just more serious. Because now he's the champ, he's a marked man, there's going to be all these people coming after him, so he needs to just be more serious. I'm all for more serious characters, but I totally agree with what Kofi is saying here. And I think in this case, the New Day is what it is, right? The New Day has been around for 5 years. They've sold a shit ton of merchandise. They still, you might be sick of them, but they're still very popular. Kofi would not be the champion right now had he never become a member of the New Day. It all led him to this place. The New Day, it's all about the power of positivity, and to change that would change everything that they're about. What I mean, though, when I say that you want to make sure you're not too one-dimensional is that when there is a reason for you to be more serious, you have to be more serious. You can't have somebody do what Kevin Owens did the week before, and the very first time that we see you, when you walk out on television 7 days later, you're chucking pancakes into the crowd. You can chuck pancakes into the crowd 2 weeks later, but the week after something like that happens, or if somebody had put Xavier in a hospital bed, Kofi Kingston should not be coming out chucking pancakes into the crowd. He should have come out in the opening segment the way he came out in the final closing segment. That would be my only criticism. But what he's saying here is absolutely true. He's right. He got to be the champion by being the likable, smiley, positive underdog that people could root for and want to get behind. And so he really should not depart too much from that. I see what JR was saying, but I could also see why Kofi, in his mind, would be like, look, I didn't need your help to get here, and I sure as shit don't need your help now. And he's not wrong.